Over the last year and a half, demand for silver hasn't just slowed down, it's dropped hard. And I want to be very clear right from the start, I am strictly talking about physical silver because that's what we focus on here at Silver Seeker. Now, I've been talking to coin shops across the country, bullion dealers I know personally, and even the CEO of a major online dealer that I keep in touch with, and they're all saying the exact same thing. Aside from that quick spike when silver ran up to 39, buyers have been scarce compared to the number of sellers. And at first glance, I know that sounds like a bad thing. I mean, less demand, more selling, a weak market. But here's the thing. That's actually why we are also seeing falling premiums. And we've talked about this recently on the channel with 90%. But today I want to go a little bit deeper. I'm going to show you rounds and eagles. And I'm going to keep it interesting because in the past, I've shown you like 20 or 30 slides from different retailers. I'm not doing that today. I'm going to show you 3 slides that are going to show you silver eagles, silver rounds, and 90% right on the screen. And you'll see what these premiums look like. And we'll talk about why that's such a good thing and why I'm still stacking silver right now. So let's go ahead and get into it. But really quick, if you are new here, do me a favor, don't forget to like and subscribe and help us continue to grow. My channel is sponsored by sdbullion.com. New customers can get their first order of gold or silver at spot by going to sdbullion.com/new. So something, and I know I've kind of touched on this recently, but something that doesn't really get enough attention, I think, is just, remember just 2 years ago, we're talking, 2023, people were lining up to pay whatever it took to get physical silver in their hands. I mean, we're talking $6, $7 an ounce over spot for silver rounds. 90% was like $10 an ounce, $11 an ounce, $12 an ounce over spot. And silver eagles, I mean, the worst offender of all. I mean, we're talking $20+ an ounce over spot at some retailers. $20 an ounce over spot. I mean, back then, silver was in the low to mid 20s, but the gatekeeper for people that wanted to buy silver, it wasn't the spot price, it was the premiums. And today we fast forward 2025, we're August right now, and the story is flipped completely upside down. We're in one of those windows right now where, the paper price for silver and the physical price for silver are closer than we've ever seen them, or at least have seen them in a very long time. And now you can find generic silver rounds. I mean, we're talking buffaloes. You can find generic silver rounds, depending on the deal that you find. If you shop online and you look around, you can find them for 99 cents an ounce over spot. And there are plenty, and I mean plenty of dealers out there over the course of these last couple of months that have been offering spot price deals on basically everything. We're talking 90%, we're talking 1 ounce rounds. I haven't seen any spot deals on silver eagles, unfortunately, but gosh, who knows? But think about how wild this really is. Silver now is sitting at around $39 per ounce, yet in some cases, you are paying less out of pocket now than when silver was only 25. That's especially true on eagles, because you can find eagles, and I'm going to show you the lowest retailer I found today in eagles was under $4 an ounce over spot. I'll show you that in a minute. So if you take 39 plus 4, that is 43. Back when silver was 25, there was a retailer with silver eagles at $20.99 an ounce over spot. So that is $46 for a silver eagle. In other words, right now you can buy silver eagles cheaper than you could back then, even though spot prices went up $14. Now, think about how weird that is, because a lot of people, they think about, silver prices going up, so there must be a surge in demand. But it's been the complete opposite. There hasn't been a surge in demand for physical silver at all. It's been a bunch of people selling off their silver, bringing it in the shops, maybe because they need money. People will comment down below that everyone's broke, so they're selling. And I know that's some of them, but there's other people that are selling, just because they want to get out of the market when it's really high. And that's what I mean. You are seeing physical demand just plummet. You're seeing people sell rather than buy, even though when you look at spot price, when you look at ETFs, when you look at the paper silver market, the numbers keep going up. So at this point, what we're really seeing with this lack of demand, with all these bullion dealers giving all of these specials, these deals, is you basically have a bunch of dealers waving their arms saying, listen, please take some of the silver off of our hands. And this kind of message does not last forever. We have seen cycles where premiums go up and go down. Demand for physical silver goes up and goes down. And right now, we are basically sitting at the bottom of the barrel for demand. And if you believe, and I want to emphasize that I am not saying I have any clue what silver is going to do tomorrow or next week or 10 years from now. I have no idea. By the time you watch this video, maybe silver's $25 an ounce. I don't know. But what I will tell you is that I have seen this happen before where the demand gets really low. And we can look back at 2017, 2018, before the pandemic, when you were able to buy Silver Eagles for well under $4 an ounce over spot. You were able to buy rounds for $1 to $1.25 over spot. And today we're seeing that again. The only difference is that spot price is much farther up than it was back then. So I guess to summarize, and then I will show you what the premiums are looking like right now on rounds, Eagles, and 90%. I guess what I want to say here is that if you believe that silver is up for a legitimate reason, and there's a very good argument for it being up for a legitimate reason, and I'm not telling people what it should be or shouldn't be. I don't have a crystal ball, but you know, if you think about how much higher, how much more expensive everything is today than it was just 10 years ago, then it also makes sense that silver is more expensive. So in reality, you know, compared to how much more everything cost, silver is up, but it's not up near as much as it looks like. It's just that the value of our dollar has plummeted, and it's going to continue to plummet. So right now, if you believe that the value of the dollar is going to keep going down, then you probably, especially if you're watching this channel, also believe that as a result, the value of the silver is going to go up. And it's not necessarily, you know, that silver is worth more. It's that the dollar is worth less. Now, I've used this analogy in a video before, but hear me out. You know, if today a dollar is worth $1 and then tomorrow a dollar is worth 50 cents, well, the price of silver will double naturally. And it's not because that silver is worth more. It's just because it takes more dollars to buy that silver. So as I've said many times, silver is holding its value, its ability to be traded or buy, you know, even if you want to sell it for money so you can then barter with that money or you can spend that money. It is maintaining its value in goods and services while the dollar continues to plummet. So right now, with low premiums, if you really believe that silver is sitting at where it should be, or if you think it's even a little bit cheap, taking advantage of these premiums is a really good idea. Now, if you're on the other side of the token and you think silver is overpriced, then it doesn't really matter what the premiums are going to do because you're not going to buy it anyway. But if you are truly a believer in silver, if you truly believe it's underpriced, man, today is a good time to buy. Okay, so as promised, here are the premiums for rounds, Eagles, and 90%. And instead of showing you like 30 slides, like I said earlier, we're just going to show you 3 so it's not so boring, so stick with me. And we are going to start with silver rounds. Now, of the 8 online retailers that I was looking at, and that I've been following for years, the highest was $2.79 an ounce over spot. And just for the record, I scoured their site looking for specials, deals, anything that was cheaper. I was blown away that $2.79 was the cheapest. And believe it or not, no, it was not actually APMEX. The lowest, however, was 99 cents. Now that is only 2.54% over spot, at spot price being around 39. And the average of all 8 retailers was $1.80, which is significantly lower than that highest price at 4.62%. Now, looking at Silver Eagles, again, the highest retailer was still at $6.99. I don't get it. Why $6.99 when you have other retailers out there selling BU random date Eagles, which is what I was looking at, for just $3.24. That is a significant difference, 17.92% over spot versus 8.31, and the average being just $5.10. And without that $6.99, it would be under $5. Now, I do want to say that I'm always looking at the 1 to 19 check and wire pricing, because most people can't go out and just buy randomly 20 ounces of silver, especially at today's prices, but also check and wire, because I believe you should pay check and wire. Why pay credit card fees when you don't have to? Now, looking at 90% silver, we have a little bit different of a story here, because the highest price was 7.7% over spot. They had it at $30.02 per dollar, or $2.99 over spot price. The lowest, however, literally had it for no premium whatsoever, and there was actually 2 dealers that had 90% silver for no premium. And if you buy over $200 worth, both of them gave free shipping. If you pay check or wire, you got it sent to you without paying a credit card fee. I mean, why pay $2.99 when you can pay $0? And the average of all the shops was just $1.10, or 2.8% over spot. The melt value today was $27.88, so the average is $28.67. Obviously, the lower was the same, and $30.02 over spot was the highest by far. So guys, that is it for today's video. I wanted to show you the premium so you can keep up to date on where they are now, but also my thoughts on premiums and where they are. Now, one other thing I might cover in another video is I think we are really starting to see the bottom of premiums. I don't think you're really going to see them go much lower. When you talk about spot deals, 99 cents an ounce over spot for, silver rounds, when you talk about Eagles that are approaching what they can just buy them straight from the U.S. Mint for, It's really hard for them to get much lower, but we'll see what happens. And of course, as always, I will keep you updated. So do me a favor, like I said earlier, if you haven't done so yet, please don't forget to subscribe. Help us continue to grow. And also, guys, I am starting up Whatnot this Saturday as I record this video, so make sure you check it out. I'll put a link in the description below. All right, guys, you're awesome. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.